Okay, I'm in a filming kind of mood today. I don't know why. So I'm getting ready to make supper. And for supper tonight is shrimp scampi pizza. So I started my dough this morning. It already rose. I punched it down and it has risen a second time. I'm getting ready to prepare the toppings, which I'll show you in a second. There's fresh oregano. I've got my pan with some flour on it. And then in the meantime, I made dilly cucumber salad. It's kind of like a German salad. The cucumbers have apple cider vinegar, white vinegar, water, sugar, salt, pepper, and onions, and some red peppers chopped up. And I'm just marinating it for a while, and then it'll go in the fridge. So let me get ready, and I'll show you some more. Okay. So let me tell you what I'm doing now. So the next thing I'm doing is I'm preparing the shrimp. The first thing I want you to know is I love when the shrimp comes in this paper from the fish guy. The reason is I use it on my countertop. Keeps my countertop clean. It's less cleanup. It's wonderful. So I've got some raw shrimp here with the tails on. They've already been peeled. So what I'm taking them now is I'm taking them and I'm cutting them in half like this. Right down here. And the reason I'm doing that is I don't want big honking pieces of shrimp on my pizza. I want it to be a little biteful. I want you to get a ratio of a pizza to shrimp. Also, when I cut them lengthwise like that, it helps me to remove the veins. Don't want to show you that. I've got a bowl of water with some lemon juice in it. And that's just going to give it a little freshness. So I'll put my shrimp in here that I've cut up. There's more than enough there for the pizza, and I'll just kind of dredge them in the water and the lemon. And I'll let it sit there for just a minute. The rest of these I'll probably cook up for Billy afterwards. And I'll show you that in just a second. Jerry, look at my towel. All right, so let me tell you about what's in this pan. It needs to be turned down a little bit. Okay. So I've got a little bit of white wine. I've got garlic, I've got butter, I have a little bit of olive oil, I have parsley, salt, pepper, and some chopped up chives. So I've got that going on in the pan, and you can see how hot it's gotten. So it's bubbling. And I'm gonna let it cook for just a second because I want the white wine to reduce down so you don't have a wine taste, you just have a nice Chardonnay going on in there. Okay. Now what I wanted to do is my shrimp are over here. I've kind of patted them dry a little bit. I want to throw them in here real quick. I don't want them to cook all the way. The reason I don't want them to cook all the way is because they're going to cook on the pizza. So, and I do want them to have a little bit of a garlicky taste to them. So, how I'm going to do that is I'm going to take it. Dump it right in there. I love using paper plates. Number one, it's easy to clean and biodegradable. So I'm going to kind of move them around a little bit so they cook just a little bit, just so they start to get a little bit pink. And because I put them in there and they're cold, you can still see it's bubbling a little bit. So we'll give them a second. Move them around just a little bit so you can see how they're starting to cook. This is a little time intensive, but a lot of this prep you can do ahead of time. All right, let me cook that down a little bit and I'll be right back. All right, so now we're ready to get our toppings together and get our pizza together. So the next thing I'm gonna do, if you look in here, you're gonna see that buttery, garlicky, reduction that I had on the stove. So I've let it cool just a little bit and mixing it all together. And now I'm gonna add something called ricotta. You know what that is. I know it as pot cheese. If you're a true Italian, you know what pot cheese is. And I'm not gonna add a whole bunch because we don't want it to overtake. Hold on, it's not coming out for me. We don't want it to overtake my pizza topping, so I'm just putting a little bit. Sometimes I do it without the ricotta, but I felt like ricotta today. So now I'm gonna stir this together. It's gonna be a nice creamy mixture. Yeah, I guess you wanna see what I'm doing. That might be good. I think I have to go take a filming class. So there you go. I'm mixing it together. And this is gonna be part of the topping. My shrimp that I lightly sauteed are right there. I've got my oregano already pulled off. That's ready to go. And this is looking lovely. Okay, the next part is the pizza dough, which I'm not terribly good at. So no judgments out there, okay? Please. All right, there's the dough. I'm not gonna film the whole thing because I'm telling you right now, I really stink at making pizza crusts. So I'm gonna do a lot of swearing and probably have to redo it 3 or 4 times. And that's really not what you wanna see. But I do wanna let you know that the Sasquatch had to come out of the oven so I could heat it up to 470. Just so you know. Okay, ready? Punch. And the rest is for my eyes only. Okay, not too bad. I'm gonna cook it for just about 5-6 minutes, just so it doesn't get gooey on the bottom when I put the toppings on. Okay, so this has been cooking about 7 minutes, so I think it's good. You can see it's hard, so. I'm gonna try to do this with one hand. I didn't wanna set up the camera. So the first thing I'm gonna do is put my ricotta on. I'm gonna spread it. And again, I don't want it real thick because I don't want it to take away from the shrimp. So I think we have just enough. And you're gonna see it's gonna start getting a little melty, which is fine. It's almost like a white pizza, right? Let's see, is there a little bit more? Yes, there is. Okay, perfect. God, I amazed myself. All right, I do want to move it towards the center more though. I don't want it to bubble over the top. Okay. All right, now, it's really important when you're making pizza like this, you gotta layer the cheese, because what it does is it sandwiches the shrimp. So I'm gonna take some mozzarella, and I'm gonna sprinkle it all in there. Now remember, my ricotta has salt, pepper, garlic, all the seasonings are in there, so just enough there. Now I'm gonna take my shrimp and I'm gonna place it around my pizza and kind of nestle it in there. So you see how that piece right there is a little bit too thick? And by cutting them in half, they, so no, this one didn't cut over the end, I started to break it. Okay. And there wasn't too much swearing going on when I was making the pizza crust. Just want to put that out there. This is going to be loaded with shrimp. You don't have to put as many shrimps as I did. You can do it the way you want to do it. Any place I'm missing, yes. Let's put a little piece here, little piece here, little piece here, little piece here, and one more here. And I think that looks well spread. Well, maybe we'll put another piece right here. Yeah, okay. Now, the next part. Remember I said you wanted to layer the cheese. But before I do that, I'm gonna put my oregano on. Now this pan is still a little hot, so I wanna sprinkle my oregano all over. I don't want too much. Keep in mind, if you use dry oregano, it's more intensified in flavor. So you can put a lot more fresh on. Look how pretty that looks. I'm gonna leave a little bit for later. Now I'm gonna take some more mozzarella. And in case you're wondering, I put it on this paper towel again. Throw it in the garbage, easy cleanup. Throw it in the garbage, easy cleanup. Okay, then I'm gonna take the rest of my mozzarella. And as this melts together, the bottom mozzarella and the top mozzarella will kind of cause like a little bit of a sandwich situation going on. And I think I want just a little bit more cheese. So I'm trying to see where I'm missing, and it looks good. Okay, use up the rest that's on this towel. Here on the edges. Look at that. Now, This is up to you if you want to. Wait, let me get rid of the rest of this. Okay, so this is up to you if you want to. You don't have to. I am going to put a little bit of red pepper flakes on it, just to give it a little bit of a kick. Not too much. I don't want to, be biting and swearing. There it is. It's ready to go in the oven. The smell is incredible, but whatever. Okay, in the oven you go. And there it is, folks. So it's still hot. So you can see I have a crust here. I put a little bit of olive oil on the crust because it looked a little dry. For the last minute, I put it on broiler just to kind of brown the top a little bit. It's really hot, so I'm going to let it cool for a little bit. Then I'll put it on the butcher block here, and I will use my Bialetti pizza cutter. If you have a pizza making person in your life, or you make pizza a lot, buy it. It's worth the money. I'm telling you, it's fabulous. On top of that, with the extra shrimp, I have Billy's dinner for tomorrow. So I'll make him some rice and a side salad, have it all ready in the fridge. So when he comes home, because I'll be gone, going to work, he'll be ready to go. Sasquatch is going back in. He's going back in for a couple, maybe another hour. I hope you enjoyed this. That's 2 videos in one day. Get over it, because it doesn't happen often. Thanks, guys.